Good day, grade 9. Since we're done in law of exponent, let's proceed to the zero exponent, negative exponent, and the law of radicals. But first, let's have the zero exponent. So in zero exponent, as you can see, we have variable a, then the exponent is 0 is equal to 1. If your exponent is 0, your answer should be equal to 1. So example, we have 7 raised to the power of 3 divided by 7 raised to the power of 3. So it means 7 raised to the power of 3 minus 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. So we have 7 raised to the power of 0. If your answer looks like this or your exponent is 0, your answer should be equal to 1. Again, if your exponent is 0, your answer should be equal to 1. Let's have another example. 27 raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Since our exponent is 0, then the answer is 1. So next, 2x raised to the power of 0. Again, the exponent is 0, so the answer is 1. 2x raised to the power of 0. So again, the answer is 1 since the exponent is 0. So next, let's have the negative exponent. When we say negative exponent, the exponent is negative or less than 0. Like for example, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and so on. As you can see, the exponent of a is negative n. So change it into fraction to change negative n into positive n. So example, we have a raised to the power of 4 divided by a raised to the power of 7. So in division of exponent, we're going to subtract a raised to the power of 4 minus 7. So we have a raised to the power of negative 3. Change it into fractions, so we have 1 over a raised to the power of 3. As you can see, a or the exponent 3 is positive. Again, to change negative into positive, make it into fraction. Let's have another example, which is a raised to the negative n is equal to 1 over a raised to n. Then the example is 4 raised to the power of negative 3 is equal to 1 all over 4 raised to positive 3. As you can see, we have 4 raised to the power of positive 3. So it means it is not yet done. 4 raised to the power of 3 or 4 multiplied by 4 is 64. Therefore, the answer is 1 all over 64. Next. 7 raised to the power of negative 1. So, make it into fraction. So, we have 1 over negative 7 over or raised to the power of positive 1. So, as you can see, 7 is negative. Just put your negative sign here. So, we have negative 1 over 7. So, next, let's proceed to the radicals. Let's have the law 1 of radicals. As you can see, we have square root of AB is equal to square root of A multiplied by B. So, example, we have square root of 2 multiplied by square root of 8. So, just multiply 2 by 8. So 2 multiplied by 8 is 16. We have square root of 16. And 16 is a perfect square. So square root of 16 is equal to 4. Since 4 multiplied by 4 is 16. Next, square root of 18. So, since square root of 18 is not a perfect square, think of two numbers wherein the one or the first number is a perfect square. So, example, we have 9 and 2. Why it is 9 and 2? Since 9 is a perfect square. So, square root of 9 multiplied by square root of 2. The square root of 9 is 3. Since square root of 2 is not a perfect square, just copy it. So we have 3 square root of 2. Again, square root of 18 is equal to 3 and square root of 2. Next, we have law 2 of radicals. As you can see, we have the square root of a divided by b is equal to square root of a divided by square root of b. Example, we have square root of 16 all over 25 is equal to square root of 16 all over square root of 25. The square root of 16 is 4 and the square root of 25 is 5. So the answer is 4 all over 5. Next, what if it is not perfect square? So example, we have square root of 13 all over square root of 49. Square root of 13. So just copy square root of 13 since even if you think of two numbers, the factor of 13 is only 13 and 1. So just write square root of 13. Then the square root of 49 is 7. Therefore, the square root of 13 over 49 is equal to square root of 13 all over 7. Next, let's have the law 3 of radicals, wherein square root of a multiplied by square root of a is equal to a, or the square root of a quantity raised to the power of 2 is equal to the square root of a squared is equal to a. So example, we have square root of 6 multiplied by square root of 6 is 6, the number itself. Next, the square root of 10 multiplied by the square root of 10 is also 10. Next, square root of 2 quantity raised to the power of 2 or squared is equal to the square root of 2 raised to the power of 2 or squared is equal to 2, the number itself. Then 9, we have 9. Again, if the two numbers inside the radical sign is the same, therefore then the answer is the number itself. So example, square root of 6 multiplied by square root of 6 is equal to 6. Square root of 8 multiplied by square root of 8 is equal to 8. Square root of 11 multiplied by square root of 11 is also equal to 11. And that's it. Thank you for listening. Let's call it a day. Goodbye, grade 9.